Dear students, in last session we have discussed the machine model of PDA, push down automata. In that machine model we came to know that it is a more powerful machine than FA. Why it is more powerful? Because additional resources are added to it in the form of a push down store, in the form of a additional memory, which we are calling as push down store. Okay. Then we have discussed the formal definition of PDA. As per the formal definition of PDA, we came to know that it is a 7 tuple. Among these 7 things which form a PDA, 5 things are common, which were also present in the finite automatons as well. That is Q, sigma, delta, Q0 and F. These two things, rho and Z0, has been added because in the model of the machine, additional memory, which is the push down store, has been added. So it is representing all the push down store symbol and it is representing the initial push down store symbol. Okay. So these are the comparison of PDA with the finite automatons which we have discussed for regular languages. And we know that PDAs are for context-free languages. We have also seen one example of a PDA which was representing the language a to the power n, b to the power n, and greater than equal to 1. From the formal definition of PDA, we also came to know that PDA by behavior is non-deterministic. While in case of FAs, we have discussed deterministic finite automaton, non-deterministic finite automaton, and epsilon non-deterministic finite automatons. From that discussion of FAs, now we very well know that non-determinism occurs in any machine or any model because of two things. Number one, presence of the epsilon moves, means null moves. So because as per the definition of PDA, we are allowing null moves, so non-determinism is present because of those null moves. Second thing is corresponding to a given input situation, there are multiple possible actions which can be taken. So as we have seen in case of NFAs, corresponding to a given state and given input symbol, suppose we can reach to the multiple states. So among any of those multiple states which can be reached, we will choose any one of them. Okay. So there is a choice available there. So that's why non-determinism has come. As per the definition of PDA, we have already seen that its transition function corresponding to a given input situation, that is given state, given input symbol and given topmost push down store symbol, it may reach to the multiple pairs, it may reach to the multiple states, it may write, and corresponding to each multiple state it can reach, it may write multiple strings over the push down store. Okay, so we may have many pairs in this set. Okay, so and we can choose any one among them. So that's why non-determinism also come from there. So nature of the PDA is non-deterministic. Now, if we look at this example, this is an example of a deterministic PDA. Normally what we want our machines, our models to be always deterministic. We don't want non-deterministic. Non-determinism can help us in design. It can result into a simple design, but ultimately we want our systems, our machine, our designs to be deterministic. So this is an example of a deterministic PDA. Why? It is a deterministic one because corresponding to given every situation, there is only a single choice available with us. So if Q0 is Z0, then we are bound to take this particular action. We are not having anywhere in any other production, in any other transition, such a situation Q0 is Z0. Okay. So there is only whenever we are getting a situation Q0 is Z0, we are bound to take only this action. There is no confusion. There is no other choice available with us. And this is the situation for all. Okay. So QAA, QBA, Q1, BA, Q1 null. Now we are using here null moves also. Now whenever we use null moves, we say that it creates non-determinism. But in this particular case, it is not creating non-determinism because corresponding to Q1 null and Z0. With Q1 and Z0, we do not have any input coming to it. Okay, so only null is there. So this is a unique situation. This situation is not occurring anywhere else. And corresponding to this situation, we are having only a single action. So that's why in any case, we are not having a choice with us. So that's why this is an example of a deterministic push-down automata. Now we will discuss the formal definition of a deterministic push-down automata. Now let us look. Suppose this capital A is equal to Q sigma rho delta Q0 Z0 F. Suppose it is a PDA. Then A is called a deterministic PDA if these two conditions are met. Our first condition is that delta QAZ is either empty or singleton. What is the meaning of this particular sentence? That delta QAZ is either empty or singleton. This delta QAZ, this QAZ is giving us the input situation. So in a given input situation, when Q is the current state, Z is on the top of the push down store, and we are reading the symbol A from the input. In this situation, what action we have to take? If the action we have to take is either empty, empty means we don't have any action to take, means PDA has to halt in that particular situation. So PDA will halt. So there is no other option available with us except to halt. And the second thing is, or it is singleton. Singleton means it is a set consisting of only a single element. Means in our set there is only a single pair. Means we are having only a single action which we can take. Means only one pair is present. So we are sure that what new state we are reaching and what string we are pushing over the push down store. So this is very much clear. So there is no other choice. Only one choice is available with us. Is it? So either it is empty or singleton. If it is for every delta QAZ in the PDA, then we say our PDA is deterministic. Okay. Now second situation is delta Q null Z not equal to 5. When delta Q null Z is not equal to 5 means what we are taking? We are taking a null move. We are taking a null move. And because it is not 5 means we are having certain action corresponding to it. So we are using null move. So as per we are using null move. So our PDA should be non-deterministic. Yes, it will be non-deterministic if corresponding to the given Q and Z we are having certain transitions for some input symbol as well. Because suppose I am also having delta Q A Z is not equal to 5. Suppose this is the situation along with this situation. Then it simply means that whenever I will reach to this situation, that Q is the current state, Z is on the top of the push down store, Q is current state, Z is on the top of the push down store, and in input I am getting a symbol A. So at that point of time, I am having a choice. Either I utilize that input symbol A from the input, or I just take a null move. I do not utilize it and I take a null move. So either I can take this situation or I can take this situation. So I am having a choice here. So that's why non-determinism will come. Now if suppose in this situation when Q null Z is not equal to null, if this delta QZ is equal to null for every A belonging to sigma, then this situation will not arise. So this is the second situation which I am saying. The delta Q null Z is not equal to 5 implies that delta QAZ is equal to 5 for all A belonging to sigma. If this situation is also present, so it will not interfere with our concept of having only a single choice at every step of PDA. And if we are having a single choice at every step of PDA, then our PDA is deterministic. Okay, so just go through the last example which we have discussed. At last, we were having the transition delta Q1 null Z0 is equal to something. It was QF null, something like this. Okay. Then for Q1 and Z0, we are not having any transition which is utilizing some input symbol. You can just check with that particular example. Okay, so that's why even if we were using null transition, we are not creating a non-determinism. So these two situations are the important situations for being a PDA deterministic. So normally in the examination, these kind of questions may come. You will be given a PDA and you will be asked to test that whether the PDA is deterministic or non-deterministic. So from the each transition, you have to check these two conditions. So every transition in your PDA should follow either this one or this one. If these two conditions are followed for every transition, then your PDA is deterministic. Now we will discuss certain more basics related to the PDA. One important definition related to the PDA is the definition of instantaneous description. In short, we'll call it as ID also. Okay, so it is instantaneous description. This instantaneous description describe a PDA in action. So when a PDA is in use, it is in action. So it describes, this instantaneous description or this ID describes the current status of the PDA. Let us assume that A is equal to Q sigma rho delta Q0 Z0 and F. It is a PDA. Then instantaneous description ID is defined by this triple Q, X and alpha, where this Q belongs to capital Q, so it is one of these states. This X belongs to sigma star, so it may be any input string. And this alpha belongs to rho star, so it is a string of push down stored symbols only. So it may show the current status of the push down store. So this Q shows the current state. This X shows the input string remain to be processed. And this alpha shows the current status, what is currently stored over the push down store. So when we combine these three things, it becomes an ID, it becomes an instantaneous description of PDA. For example, this Q, A1, A2, A3 and so on up till AN, Z1, Z2, Z3 and so on, Zm. This is an example of an ID. This ID tells us that current state is Q. Now A1, A2, A3, AN, this is the current string which is remained to be processed. So means the next input symbol to be processed from the input string will be the A1. Now Z1, Z2, Z3 and so on up till Zm, this string is stored over the push down store with Z1 at the top of the push down store. So this is the example of an initial ID. If we follow this definition, then Q0, X and Z0, this will be an initial ID. Why I am calling it as initial ID? Because we always start our processing of PDA from the start state, that is the Q0. So current state will be Q0. Then in the starting, we have not processed anything. The whole string, whole input string is remained to be processed. So that whole input string X I have written here. So the whole string is remained to be processed. And initial situation, initially on the push down store, there will be nothing else than the initial push down store symbol, that is the Z0. So Q0 X Z0 will be an initial ID. We will start our processing of the PDA always from this initial situation, this initial ID. Now, as we know that instantaneous description IDs are useful to illustrate the current status of a PDA. We can define a move relation between the IDs. So suppose again we are assuming that A is a PDA. So a move relation, we will denote this move relation by this symbol, a vertical line followed by a horizontal line. So this is the move relation denoted by this particular symbol between the IDs. So this move relation will be between the IDs. So we will move from one ID to the another ID. We will also discuss that a PDA in action is doing nothing, but it is moving between the IDs. Like in case of FAs, we are moving between the states. So we are in a particular state reading a particular symbol, then corresponding to that current state and current symbol, we move to another state. Then from that state, we again read the next symbol and move to some other state. So basically, FA functions by moving from one state to the another state. In the similar manner, our PDA functions by moving between the IDs. So it starts with the initial ID. We have already discussed what initial ID is. So it starts with the initial ID. As per the transition function, it moves to some other ID. and then again as per the current situation, it moves to some other ID. So it is nothing. So PDA in action is nothing, but it is the movement between the IDs. So a move relation denoted by this symbol between the IDs is defined as, so this Q, A1, A2, A3 and so on, AN, Z1, Z2, Z3 and so on up till Zm. So this is an ID. Suppose this is the current ID. This shows us that we are in a state Q. Input string remain to be processed is A1, A2, A3 and so on up till AN, with A1 as the current input symbol which is to be processed first. And then Z1, Z2, Z3 and so on up till Zm. These all symbols are pushed over the PDS, our push down store, with Z1 at the top of the push down store. Okay. So this is our current ID. This ID will move to this new ID, which is saying Q dash, means state has changed to the Q dash. From Q, we have moved to the Q dash. Input string remain to be processed is A2, A3 and so on up till N. Now A1 is not here because A1 has been processed. We have taken the transition which shows us if we are in the state Q, input symbol is Q1 and at the top of the push down store is Z1, that is delta Q A1 Z1. Corresponding to this, some action we have taken. Okay, so that's why we have moved to the state Q dash. Input string remain to be processed is A2, A3 and so on up till N. A1 is not here. And then status of the push down store is something like Y1, Y2 and so on up till Yk. Z2, Z3 and so on up till Zm. So initially it was Z1, Z2, Z3 and so on up till Zm with Z1 on the top. So this top symbol, top push down store symbol we have utilized. So it will be removed from there, and whatsoever string we will be writing, we will be pushing over the push down store, that will take its place. Okay, so suppose that symbol is consisting of K symbols Y1, Y2 and so on up till Yk. So Zm, Z3, Zm, Zm minus 1, Zm minus 2 and so on up till Z2 are already present on the stack on the push down store, and then Z1, the topmost symbol has been removed, and over it the string which we were to write as per the transition function we have pushed. Suppose that string is Y1, Y2 and so on up till Yk. So Yk, Yk minus 1, Yk minus 2 and so on up till Y2 and Y1. So in this manner we have pushed this string there. So the current status is Y1, Y2, Y3 and so on up till Yk, then Z2, Z3 and so on up till Zm. So it is only possible when delta Q A1 Z1 means current situation when we were processing it. So Q was the state, A1 was the symbol which we were to process, and Z1 was on the top of the push down store. It contains Q dash beta. I am saying contains because this our PDA is non-deterministic by nature. So in its resultant set, it may contain many pairs. So among those many pairs, we have chosen one pair. We have chosen one action to be taken, and that action is Q dash beta. So that's why state has changed to the Q dash. Now beta will be written over the push down store. So because Z1 has been removed, because Z1 was the topmost symbol, beta will be written. And suppose beta is Y1, Y2, Y3 and so on up till Yk. So beta will be written over the already stored elements of the push down store symbol after removing the topmost symbol, that is the Z1. So this will become the ID. So in this manner, from this ID we have moved to this ID when we have processed one symbol from the input string as per the transition function given by the PDA. So in this manner, when we execute a string over the PDA, we move between the IDs. Now this picture will illustrate in a better manner the move relation which we have discussed just now. So we are again taking the same move operation, that is we are in the state Q. The input string remaining to be processed is A1, A2 and so on up till AM, and Z1, Z2, Z3 and so on Zm on the top of on the push down store. Okay, so it moves to Q dash A2, A3, AN and beta Z2, Z3 and so on up till Zm if beta is equal to Y1, Y2 and so on up till Yk. So the previous one which we have just discussed. So if you can look at this situation, this is the situation initially. So read head is on the A1. So A1 is the input symbol which is currently to be processed. We are currently in the state Q, and on the top of the push down store is Z1 with Z2, Z3 and so on, Zm stored below it. Okay, so this is the starting situation. And when we take a transition from the state Q to Q dash, so if Q dash beta was in the delta Q as Z, okay, so Q will change to Q dash. This state has been changed. Our read head has moved from A1 to A2 because A1 has been processed. And during this process, we have changed to the state Q dash, and we have changed the status of the push down store. Now the topmost symbol Z1 has been used. So Z2, Z3 and so on, those are remaining here. And over it, the string which was to be written, that is beta, has been pushed. Now beta was Y1, Y2, Y3 and so on up till Yk. So Y1, Y2, Y3 and so on up till Yk has been pushed over the stack because it is a stack. It is the push down store. It is in the form of a stack. So always the elements we will be pushing at the top of the stack. Okay, so that's why Z1 has been removed, then Yk has been pushed, then Yk minus 1, Yk minus 2 and so on. And Y1 will be at the top of the push down store. So this picture has changed to this picture. So through this picture, you can better understand the move relationship between the IDs. Now associated to the move relation, this relation is shown like this. We can also define its reflexive transitive closure. Its reflexive transitive closure will be defined by the symbol this. So means the same symbol as was for the move relation. We'll just put a star over here, like we write a star on the clean closure or the closure. So it is simply the closure of the move relation. This closure of the move relation simply denotes the multiple moves simultaneously. So suppose the value of this star is suppose 3. So it means that we have taken 3 moves. So from the initial ID, first move has been taken. Then from the second ID, again one more move has been taken. And from this third ID, again one more move has been taken. So that's why we will reach here. So we'll write a ID here and a ID here. So we reach from this ID to this ID in multiple number of moves. So this reflexive transitive closure of move denotes this. So this will be denoted by this symbol, that is move relation, and we will suffix it by a asterisk symbol. Similar to the FAs, PDAs are also used to represent the languages. How do PDA will represent the language? Certainly they will accept the words in the language and they will reject the other words which are outside the language. Okay. So for doing this, we must know the acceptance criteria of PDAs. In case of FAs, our input strings were accepted if after the complete processing of the input string, we rest in a final state. We reach to a final state and rest there. So this was the criteria of success for the FAs. Now in this similar manner, we may define the acceptance criteria of PDAs. So if after the processing of a string completely, if we reach to a final state, then we say that our string is accepted and it is the part of the language. Now in case of PDAs, we are also having an additional structure, that is the push down store, an additional memory. So we can also define success in terms of PDS. So we can also define the success when after processing of the complete string, our PDS becomes empty. So there are two criteria of success of a particular string over the PDA, that is by final states or by empty PDS. So now we'll discuss how we can define our successful strings through the final states and how we can define our successful strings through the empty push down store. Now we will first discuss the language accepted by PDA by final states. So let us assume that A is equal to Q sigma rho delta Q0 Z0 F. It is a PDA. The set accepted by this PDA by final states is defined by this set format, this definition. This definition says that F of A, suppose it is the language of this PDA A defined by final state. So that's why I have written F of A here, so that I may show that it is the language represented by this PDA through the final states. It is nothing but the collection of all words W belonging to sigma star. When W belongs to sigma star means all these strings which are possible over the set of terminals. So W is taken from that particular set. So all words taken from sigma star will be the part of the language of this word if Q0, WZ0, this is an ID. And if you carefully look at, this is the initial ID because Q0 is the initial state, start state, Z0 is the initial push down stored symbol, and W is the whole word itself. So if the initial ID Q0, WZ0 moves to, when I use this symbol move and asterisk closer of it, so ultimately by use of multiple move operations, it ultimately moves to an ID of the form QF null alpha. When QF means QF is a state and null means if there is nothing remain to be processed in the string. Here when we start from the initial ID, the whole string remain to be processed. But when we write a null here, it means that in the input string, nothing remains to be processed, means your input string has been processed fully. Okay. And then alpha, something is stored over the push down store. Okay. Now this QF belongs to F. So whatever state we are reaching, that state should be a final state. So QF belongs to F means that state should be a final state. So means if from Q0, WZ0 means that is from the initial ID, we move to an ID which consists of a final state and something stored on the push down store. So alpha belongs to row star. So anything can be on the push down store. So we are not defining what is on the push down store, but something is there. Because our PDA, just remember, our PDA cannot function if our push down store is empty. So something should be on the push down store. So alpha belongs to row asterisk. So anything can be there. And input string has been fully processed. So this is the definition of the language defined by a PDA through the final state. So all such words which reach from the initial ID to a ID of this form where we are ultimately reaching to a final state after the processing of whole string will be successful over the this PDA by the final states. Now, as per our second criteria of acceptance, that is the acceptance by the empty store, or we can call it as a null store, because on the PDS there will be nothing. So let us assume A is equal to Q sigma rho delta Q0 Z0 F is again a PDA, and the set accepted by this PDA by the empty PDS or the null store is defined by N of A. Again, I am writing here N of A so that I may represent that it is the language accepted by this PDA A by empty store or null store. So it is nothing but the collection of all words W belonging to sigma star such that that initial ID Q0WZ0, this initial ID moves to an ID of this form Q null null. So means there can be any state and the input string has been fully processed, so nothing remained in the input string to be processed, and PDS is also empty. So there is nothing stored over the PDS. When null is here means nothing is stored over the PDS. So means PDS is empty. So all the words W which through the transition function of PDA ultimately empties the push down store after the full processing of input string W will be successful over this model, and they will be called as the set accepted by the PDA A by the null store or by the empty store. So here it does not matter in what state you are. So Q can be any state, whether it is final or non-final, it doesn't matter. Only the change brought by the brought to the push down store has been considered in this definition. So ultimately all the words W which ultimately after fully processing it empties the push down store will be successful as per this definition. So this will be the language accepted by this by the PDA through the empty store. So these are two criteria of success for words over the PDA. So we can define in this manner two languages for every push down automata, one language corresponding which is successful through the final states, another which is successful through the empty store. Up till now, we have discussed all the introductory part of the push-down automata. We have seen various basics of it. Now, from next lecture onwards, we will be discussing the design of push-down automata. So, we will be taking certain languages and we will try to write push-down automata corresponding to it. Or we may also analyze the given push-down automata to find what language these automata represents. Thank you all.